Hey there Twilights, welcome back to Twilight Corner. So in today's video we are going to be reading a poem that is A Tiger in the Zoo for class 10th NCERT English. So let's start. But before we start, make sure to like this video, subscribe and also share this video with your friends and help me reach 200 subscribers. But before that, I want to say that I'm really grateful for 100 subscribers. So thank you so much. Anyways, so let's start. Okay. A tiger in the zoo. This poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with a tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. Read the poem silently once and say which stanzas speak about the tiger in the zoo and which speak about the tiger in the jungle. Okay, I will read you this poem once. Think about it, and if you don't want me reading it, then just read it yourself once, okay? He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on the pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. Again, this is about the zoo, as you can understand from the cage itself. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass near the water hole where the plump deer pass. Again, this is about the forest. Once again, this is about a forest. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edges, baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. This is again about the forest. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Okay, this is about your zoo. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with brilliant eyes at brilliant stars. This is again about your zoo. And this poem is written by Leslie Norris. Okay, so let's start with the first stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage on paths of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. Okay, so there is a meaning of stalks का मतलब क्या होता है? It means to see or it will be seen. So he stalks in his vivid stripes. Vivid का मतलब होता है तुम्हारा vivid का तुम्हारा मतलब होता है इधर clear. So over here obviously there are black stripes on the tiger, right? As you can see. So vivid over here means, my god, wait, handwriting itni kharab. Okay, vivid here means clear. Okay, so he basically sees in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, meaning that his cage is very chotku, or is it very small, so he can only take a few steps, 3-4 steps maybe, yeah. And on the pads of velvet quiet. अब इधर velvet जो होता है, velvet is a soft cloth, right? It is a soft cloth. But what do you mean by the on the pads of velvet quiet? So basically, the pads refers to his claws which are there, right? It refers to the claws or the feet or the palm of the tiger, right? And that palm of the tiger, it is very soft. So that is named as velvet. Velvet over here refers to the palm of the tiger, which is very soft as a velvet cloth and white. Okay, so over here it is on the pads of the velvet white that he stalks the vivid. He can be seen from his clear vivid stripes, and his cage is very small that he can take only a few steps, and his the palm of his claws is actually like velvet ka cloth in his quiet rage. Now he is basically, why do you say quiet rage? Quiet rage का मतलब होता है silent anger. Okay, silent anger. So basically, he is in that cage and he is feeling so like people are staring at him, and basically he doesn't want to be here. So obviously there will be the silent anger that would be going in his mind. So let me just tell you that he stalks obviously in his clear vivid stripes. Clear hota hai, vivid ka matlab, he there, his cage is very small that he can take only a few steps. On the pads of velvet, quiet ka matlab hota hai his claws are, his claws or the palm of his claws is very like a very soft like a velvet cloth, and he is literally lurking around, not lurking around, just taking a few steps in his cage with quiet rage, that is silent anger. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through the long grass near the water hole where the plump deer pass. Okay, so he should be lurking in the shadow. Lurking का मतलब क्या होता है? It is walking secretly or quietly secretly doing something, है ना? तो he should be lurking in the shadow मतलब वो इधर उधर घूम फिर रहा है. The tiger is moving here around in the dark, or you could say in the shadow. He's lurking around, or he's walking around very quietly. It seems that he wants to hunt something, or if he's hungry or something like that. And then he's lurking around, or he's sliding around the long grass which is there, right? And near the water hole where the plump deer passes. So near the water hole there is long grass, and over here I think he is searching for a prey, right? And that prey is a plump deer pass. Okay, I mean plump deer matlab healthy deer which is there, and it is pura fleshy वगैरह, you could say. Okay, तो let me just tell you this again. He should be lurking in the shadow मतलब होता है he is walking quietly secretively in the shadow, sliding through the long grass. He is passing through the long grass. Near the water hole there is a plump deer or a fleshy deer that usually passes, and he is trying to hunt for it. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edges, ba- baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So he should be snarling around the houses का मतलब क्या होता है? He should be walking around the houses, basically at the jungle's edge. Over here there is the jungle, here मान लो तुम्हारा जंगल है, and over here the village is obviously quite near. That is why the tiger is able to enter the village. So he is snarling around, or he is going around the village, right? And he's making some warm sounds, like making angry sounds, right? That to let people know that his presence is there, right? So he's making angry sounds like khon 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 kuch तो करता रहता है ना. He's growling. So that is the case. And at the jungle's edge, barring his white fangs मतलब he's showing off his white fangs जो होते हैं उस पे, his white claws, his claws, and he's terrorizing the village मतलब he is frightening the village or scaring the village. So he should be snarling around the houses मतलब होता है he's making warm voices or angry voices, and he's at the jungle's edge, which is the village is at the jungle's edge. He's showing his white bangs and his claws, and he is scaring of the village. But he's locked in concrete cell. His strength is behind the bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Okay. So basically, it is saying that, but he is locked in a concrete cell. Obviously, the tiger that is in the zoo. अभी तक फॉरेस्ट की बात कर रहे थे, अब जू पे वापस आते. देखो जू पे क्या है कि the which the tiger is there, he is basically having, he is behind the concrete cell matlab he is behind the cage which is there, right? And his strength is behind the bars. He obviously can't show his strength, right? It is behind the bars. He's supposed to be in the forest, but unfortunately he is in the zoo. And he is stalking matlab seeing. He's seeing the length of his bars. He's seeing how tall the bars are of his cage, and he's ignoring all the visitors जो भी उसको attract करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, but he's just ignoring them, right? So basically, but he is locked in a concrete cell matlab he is locked inside a cage, and where in behind his cage all of his strength, strongness जो भी था, it is there. Stalking in his length of his bars, he is checking the measure of his length of the bars which are there of the cage, and ignoring visitors. That means he is not looking or focusing any or paying any attention on the visitors which are there. He hears a last voice at night, the patrolling cars. The last voice that he hears, or the last sound that hears, the a tiger which is stuck in the cage or in the zoo, he hears of the patrolling cars. Patrolling cars का काम क्या होता है? Basically they make sure that if an animal doesn't go out, and they just check everything that everything is working or functioning good, right? And no animal has escaped वगैरह वगैरह. So he hears the sound of the patrolling cars last, that is the sound, and stares with his brilliant eyes. Matlab he stares with his white shardy eyes, right? That you could say. He stares with his white sharp eyes, and that like shine brilliantly. That is there, and at the brilliant stars. So he also looks at the stars. Okay, let me just tell you again. He hears the last voice, that is of the patrolling cars, and then he sees it with his brilliant eyes that are very shiny and shining. And then he also sees at the brilliant stars, and that his eyes also glow like a star. Okay, time for keywords. Sorry, don't mind my thoda sa wo. Okay, time for keywords. Keywords क्या है keywords? Let me just tell you. Stock से keyword है, very important. Vivid stripes is your keyword. Cage is your keyword. Okay, pads of velvet white are your keywords. Quiet rage is your keyword. Lurking in the shadow is your keyword. Lurking in the shadow is your keyword. Long grass is your keyword. Plump deer pass is also your keyword. Waterhole is also your keyword. Snarling is your keyword. And then jungle's edge is also a keyword. White fangs, very important. His claws also. And he's terrorizing, a keyword that you can use. Concrete cell is another keyword. Strength, stalking, ignoring. And then the last voice at night of the patrolling cars is a keyword, right? Brilliant eyes is very important keyword. Brilliant stars is also an important keyword. सो दीज वेरी कीवर्ड्स. अब राइम स्कीम की बात करें, इधर सिंबॉलिज्म दिया हुआ है ऑफ द tiger that is stuck in the zoo and the tiger which is there in the jungle, right? And then we have, I think, emancipation भी है. emancipation पता नहीं, I don't think so there is there. alliteration है तुम्हारा, personification नहीं है तुम्हारा. फिर तुम्हारा क्या है? राइम स्कीम तो वेरी इजी है, मैं तुम्हें राइम स्कीम नहीं बताने वाली. ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट योर सेल्फ. हाँ, एक और चीज़ मैं बताना भूल गई. ये जो ट्रांजिशन बता रहे थे ना, जू फॉरेस्ट, ये था कि जू में स्विच करा, फिर फॉरेस्ट फॉरेस्ट, जू जू, ऐसे ही है. ठीक है. नाउ अब तुम्हें ये क्वेश्चंस है. रीड द पोएम एंड वर्क इन पेयर्स. Find the words that describe the movements and actions of the tiger in his cage. And okay, these are just questions that you have to try yourself. Okay, once. ठीक है. चलो, I think we are done with this chapter now. So yeah, if you want Nelson Mandela ka, I'll be uploading very soon, don't worry. This is just a little lengthy chapter, इसलिए I just thought to make the poem first, and then I'll make sure to upload Nelson Mandela also. So please do make sure to like this video, subscribe, and also share this video with your friends. Till then, take care and bye bye, Twilights.